from my following, I expected for them to be found not guilty on some charges, but I did expect for them to be found guilty on lesser charges or other charges like facilitation of second-degree murder and maybe not second-degree murder. Um, Perhaps it shouldn't be too surprising. With the federal case, even though they were found guilty of the less serious charges.
All right, polling the jury, having found that this is a unanimous verdict.
Policing is an ugly job. And oftentimes I say a lot of things in policing is awful, but it's lawful. Uh, Apparently the jury believed that what happened was awful, but lawful. And what the defense attorney did a really good job was of trying to distribute and level out the layers of culpability. Basically, they kept trying to blame things on Officer Martin, right? And so he's one of the officers already pled guilty, and that his clients that were on trial did not have the same level of culpability.
We, the jury, find the defendant, Thaddeus Bean, not guilty.
I don't see how officers can continue to punch and kick them in the face, take pictures like it's a trophy, and there not be something, even if it's just the charges of official misconduct. Dude, I will tell you that many of my former colleagues that are still police officers, I received texts today. They're a little confused, and I'm looking at one now, and they're like, "Man, this is just unbelievable." They're saying things like, they're not sure how divided the city's going to be. What's the response to the people of the city of Memphis going to be to them? They feel like the legitimacy has been tanked, and that they wonder what the fallout means for them interacting with citizens. Reform's not going to stop. Many places are continuing doing reform locally. Memphis is one of them. I know Nashville is another one in the city. They're really pushing to reform their police, and they should continue those efforts. But a verdict like this, whether right or wrong, whatever side you stand on, it has damaged the legitimacy of policing, our leaders, and the courts to the eyes of many people. And it's hard to have effective reform when you have a large swath of people, particularly the people in the communities most impacted by crime and policing, don't believe in you and don't believe you're legitimate. And even if you're legitimate, that the law itself is not legitimate. And so there are some hills that's going to have to go on before we can keep pushing forward. But the city has to make sure that they're leading that path and that people see they're still committed to reform even more so than now. So